Right, welcome back to another Play Action Football video. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm the designer and creator of Play Action Football. In this video, I'm going to give a little bit of a sneak peek into what I'm doing for the 1991 season, which will be the next season coming out. I thought I would show you by just rolling just a little bit of the game. Probably won't be a whole lot played here, a quarter, if that. So the general idea of what I'm doing or what I'm testing out is, can I have one single standard plays sheet, so play outcomes, and then just have the differences between each team be the difference in the game. So this is a little bit what I've done with the dice roller. If you're familiar with the dice roller, where you input, where you can play out a game and simulate a game very quickly. So a similar concept to that, where the difference between the teams really is just their offensive rating and their defensive rating. So you can also see that the cards here are quite a bit smaller. They would come 4 to a sheet, so 2 and 2, kind of like that. And you can see that each team has their rushing, receiving, sacks and interceptions players, and then we have the full roster starting offensive and defensive players. So I like that as well. You have your passing and rushing numbers down here percentage wise, so you can kind of okay, maybe I need to be passing the ball a little bit more with this team. And then we have our kicking game down here, and the way that, I don't know if you can see that very well, but the way I've broken this down is, instead of having the big chart with the green and red and all that kind of stuff, you have just the numbers. And so from 1 to 91 is an extra point and it's good. From 92 to 100 is a miss. So 1 to 99 is a make. From 1 to 19 yards, 20 to 29 yards, it's 1 to 92. And essentially you would just take your D10s and then you roll those two D10s. I usually have 2 different colored dice, so I designate one for one team and one for the other, and then whatever the team I'm rolling for is, I'll take that color and make that the first die. So that's typically how I do that. I still need to do work. I need to work in how to do blocks on the kicking game. So maybe on a double or something like that, there's an opportunity to roll for a block, and then you'd have to roll again for a block kick. Don't know how to work that yet. But I've got the Colts at the Oilers. So the Oilers will be blue and the Colts will be white. You can see my typical setup here. And I also took the special teams chart and I made things a little bit bigger. I also reworked some of the options here for kickoff. So it's a little bit more variable than it was in the past, in terms of adding in the D10s and stuff like that. And reworked some of these results as well. A lot of these things are just going to be what you would expect. But then I have the penalties broken up as pre-snap and post-snap penalties. I don't know if that's how that will work into the game. Before I was doing I had another value here that was called penalty. And if you rolled like a 1 or a 2 or something like that, then it was a penalty, but it was causing way too many penalties in the game. And so I need to find a better way to get that in. So, all right. So this will be mostly the major parts of what's going to happen. So basically this is a league average, and then we have our 2 teams here. So the Colts, who are actually below league average, don't know how that's going to work out, and the Oilers are way above league average on offense. So we'll try it out. I played one game already between the Steelers and the Browns, and that game was 44-20, Cleveland over Pittsburgh. Now, 14 of those points came off of kind of freakish plays. So a fumble was run back for a touchdown and an interception were run back for a touchdown. That's not going to happen very often. So it was really, like 30 to 20, which is a little bit high, I guess. They had a late touchdown here, like 2 late touchdowns here because they were having to go for it and were turning it over on down. So there were some instances in there. I went back and I replayed them on the application for the simulator. And there were some scores like that in 40 to 20. So not unheard of. I need to test it quite a bit more to make sure that this is not going off the rails. Normally what I would do is I would take this standard plays sheet, and then I would take the Indianapolis Colts pass completion percentage, interception percentage, sack percentage, and yards per catch. And then how are they above or below average? And then I would actually go through and hand manipulate all of these results. I have a little calculation off to the side that when I input different results here, it recalculates everything. And so I figure out, what's the completion percentage. So actually changing the completion percentages on the chart. It's pretty tedious to do it that way. And what I really want to know is, am I doing something tedious for no good reason? So if I do it this way, will all the results come out the same anyway? And then I can save myself a lot of time and effort. I also like the smaller footprint here where I can put an entire conference on one sheet. Before it was like one sheet per team. So quite a bit different than what we got here. Here's the Colts. You can see this is all the Colts. So now here's the Colts. You can see there's a little bit of difference there between those two things. So, can I make it a little bit more compact and keep people from having to print so much? But also, also have be connected to this single sheet. So that's sort of the thinking. Nothing else really has changed on the game board or anything like that. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, or if you want to email me at clarkandaddisongaming@gmail.com. Be happy to hear your thoughts about sort of this new layout, and you can watch through the results and see what happens. There's an opportunity here once you connect them to a standard outcomes grid. You can begin to manipulate or go through and break through. Okay, so maybe they're +1 on an interception, +2 on an interception. Then what does that mean? Do you roll for the interception? Because their interception percentage might be different than what we have here for the norm. So there's sort of that. You can get a little bit more into the nitty gritty of each team's individual self, I guess, in that way. And I just recognized I need play calling sheet. So I have that. Sorry. I knew there was one more thing. I felt like there was one more thing I was missing. And that was it. So smooth things a little bit. Move this a little bit. Okay. So hopefully it's not too far off kilter. And let's get this one started. So I'm going to roll 2 d6s to see who wins the coin toss. It'll be Houston that wins the coin toss. They're going to elect to kick. So Indianapolis will get the ball first. I'll just make an indication of that on the score sheet. That way I know who kicks off first and who gets it in the second half. So it'll be Houston kicking off. And it's a 5. 5 is going to be a touchback. And so they're going to take over 1st and 10 at their own 25. Nothing changes here. So rolling here, and I'll roll the red one for the player. So we have a 6 to a 6, so it's going to be a screen pass to a base blitz, and both they run the 4-3. Houston does, so that'll be our defense. Screen to a base blitz is going to be a +2, so Indianapolis has a -1 overall. They have a 0 offense, and the defense for the Oilers is a -1. So they have a -1 overall. That +2 makes them a +1, and they're going to need all that. So that becomes a 3. A 3 on a screen is a tackle for loss for -1 yard. It's going to be pretty tough sledding for the Colts in this one. Brings up 2nd down and 11. 2nd and 11. This will be a draw play against a nickel. So that makes it even overall. 10 on a draw play is good for 2 yards. So it gets them at least a little bit of positive territory. That's Jeff George with the draw up the middle. So Jeff George, the quarterback for Indianapolis. Eric Dickerson is on the field as well. And we got Warren Moon, quarterback for the Oilers. 3rd down and 9. It is a medium pass against a base defense. So that's a +1. So again, that gets them back to even. And on a 13 for a medium pass, that's going to be good for 11 yards. So they actually pick up the 1st down. And that's going to be 1st and 10 for the Colts. Good throw by Jeff George. Picks up the 1st down. Medium pass again against the base, so that's going to be another even. 18. This is going to be a pass to Dickerson. 18 on the pass is D10 plus 15. So that's 23 yards as Jeff George eating them up. So 10, 20, 1, 2, 3. Takes it down to the Oilers 40. And that'll be 1st and 10. The 23-yard gain from Jeff George to Eric Dickerson. Another medium pass against the base, so it's a pretty good play for them. Feels like a go-to. It's going to be even. 15 is going to be good for D10 plus 8. And that's going to be good for 14 yards. That passes to Brooks. 10, 14. As the Oilers defense not providing much resistance here on the opening drive. We'll see about their offense though. that's where they made hay for sure. 1st down and 10 again, inside run to a base. That's going to be a -1. That turns them into a -2. That's going to be the hard part for them, is running the ball up the middle. So basically you take one of these 2s away. It becomes a 2. A tackle for loss is a -D6 worth, and that's for -1 yard as they get dropped back to the 27. Only 1 yard rushing so far. That is Clark. Not sure who Clark was. 2nd down and 11. So we had to go from our 2nd down and 11 plus side of the column. This is going to be a draw play to a nickel defense. That's a +1, so that makes it an even. No adjustment here. So 8 on a draw play is going to be for 0 yards. So that'll be a 3rd down and 11 for the Colts. Dickerson on the draw play. 3rd and 11, screen pass. This is going to go out of the backfield to Dickerson. And it will be against a dime. So screen against a dime is a -1. That makes them a -2 adjustment overall, which basically gets rid of that. So a 6 on a screen pass is going to be a quarterback hurry, and Jeff George is hurried and can't complete the pass. That's going to bring up 4th down and 11 from the 27. The Colts, pretty good kicking, but let's see, it'll be 37, 44 yards. It's a 1 to 38 to make. It's only 38% here. I don't know. Let's go for it. Mostly because I just want to show you the mechanic. That's kind of what this is for. So we take our 2d10s. I'm going to read the white die first since it's Indianapolis. It is a 73, and the 73 is greater than a 38. So that's going to be a miss from 44 yards. 44 is missed. Okay, so we take it back to the 34. That's going to be the new line of scrimmage. It'll be 1st and 10. We take 15 off for the kick, and it'll be Houston's ball, 1st and 10. But you can see that the switch over is a little bit easier. There's just the one play results chart that we're looking at here. And Warren Moon comes out for the first time. We got Jeffries Hill, Gibbons, Duncan, Pinkett, White, and Moon. That's going to be their starting backfield and receivers. They got some players on defense here. Childress, Dishman. Those are guys I remember. Lamar Lathan, I think is his name. Lathan. So these are some of the guys. I grew up in Texas. And so I remember watching these guys play on TV while they were in Houston. So this is going to be 1st down and 10. So Houston is the blue die. So it's an inside run to the base defense. Now, Indy runs a 3-4, so we're going to be looking at a different column. That makes them a +3 overall, because it's a +1 when you run up inside to a 3-4. The 3-4 defense is going to have it's going to even things out in this game just a little bit. So we'll see how this goes for Houston. It's a good matchup against the Oilers with the 3-4 defense. So inside run, that's a +3. And we have 19 +3. So that's right off the bat going to be a penalty. I've just been doing post-snap penalties because I don't really know how to incorporate pre- and post-snap penalties. I don't know if I should do maybe we can do this. Maybe we can do this on the fly. We'll do the Houston one for the penalty to decide whether it is pre or post-snap. So 1 to 5 will be pre-snap. 6 to 10 will be post-snap. And then the white one is going to be the penalty on the it'll be a penalty on the on the defense, right? Penalty on the defense. Okay, so it'll be a post-snap penalty. A 3. The play is a what? It's a run. So 3 is going to be a late hit. That's going to be 15 yards. So we'll say 10, 15. So 15 yards, nothing changes. Yeah, I don't know. Something like that. Something along those lines. You're watching it all work out in real time here. Okay, 1st down and 10 from their own 49. The Oilers are going to run they're going to run inside against a base blitz. So that's a 0. So the Oilers have a +2 overall. That's what they'll maintain here. The run is Warren Moon up inside as he pulls the ball down and takes off. And 8 on an inside run is good for 2 yards. So he scrambles for a couple yards. That's going to bring up second down and 8. Second and 8. This is a an outside run against a base defense. That's a 0, so +2 overall. -5 + 2 is 7. To the outside is 0. So far, trying to keep the ball on the ground. But they're not getting anything really. So, third down and 8 for Houston. It's a draw play to a nickel. That's a +1, so that makes them +3 overall. This could be a big play. As we get a 15 + 3 is 18. 18 on the draw is D10 plus 10 yards. So good for 13. So 10, 13 takes it down to the 36. That's going to be a 1st and 10. As White is the one who takes that 13 yards for the first down. And so far, Houston keeping it on the ground to start here. First and 10, this will be a screen pass to a base. So that'll be a -1, so they retain a +1. 17 + 1 is 18. 18 on a screen is D10 plus 3. That's good for 11 yards. 10, 11. Takes it to the 25, and it'll be 1st and 10 at the 25. First pass completed for Warren Moon for 11 yards. Why not? They run the screen again. This time it goes to Gibbons, so they throw it outside. Screen pass to a base blitz. This is going to be a 0, so they retain their +2 advantage. 16 on a screen pass is D6 plus 4, and that's good for 8 yards. Takes it down to the 17. It'll be 2nd down and 2. Second down and 2. It's an inside run against a base, so that becomes a +3 advantage for the offense. And a 16 on an inside run is good for 7 yards. That takes it down to the 10. It'll be 1st and goal from the 10. So first down run there for Warren Moon. He's running a little bit in this one. 1st and 10. Sorry, 1st and goal from the 10. And it will be an outside run against a goal line defense is a -1, so they retain their +1 advantage. 18 + 1 is 19 on the outside, D6 plus 10. And that is 12 yards, and that's going to be a 12-yard touchdown run for White, who takes it into the end zone from 10 yards out. And just like that, the Oilers take the early lead. You can see that it's going to be hard for Indy to stop the Oilers offense. Their extra point is 1-91. It's a 55, so it's up and good. And Houston with the 7-point lead in this one. That's going to take time off here. Oilers kickoff, and this will be 3. That's going to be 62 yards on the kickoff, so that's 61-2. And the return for Indy is going to be 27 yards plus 3. So 30 yards on the return takes it back to the 33. That's a nice return. And we have 1st and 10 for Indianapolis from their own 33. They're down 7-0 to Houston midway through the first quarter. Let's see if Jeff George can put something together. This is going to be a short pass against a base defense. That's a -1. Added to their already -1 is -2. And a 9 on a short pass is going to be incomplete. So Jeff George with the incompletion. Brings up 2nd down and 10. He was trying to get the ball to Dickerson. 2nd and 10. This is a deep ball. They're going to Dickerson down the seam, throwing it deep against a nickel. Not going to do much there. A -2 becomes a -3. And 4 -3, that's going to actually go into a penalty for the offense. So we'll decide 6 is going to be a post-snap penalty, a 1 on a passing play. That's an unnecessary roughness call. That's going to drop them back 10, 15 yards. And we'll leave everything as is, but that's another 15-yard penalty for the for the Colts. So 2nd down and 10, 20, 25. 2nd and 25. So this is going to be an outside run to a base blitz. That's a -1. So they're going to be a -2 overall. 3 on the outside run, tackle for loss for -4 yards. As they just keep going back and not forward. All right, what do you call on 3rd and 29? They are going to call a draw play or a medium pass. Medium pass against a nickel blitz is a 0, so they're -1. 9 -1 is 8, and that'll be incomplete. So pretty disastrous set of downs there for Indianapolis. Brings up 4th down and 29. So obviously they're going to punt here. It's a terrible punt. On top of that, just 25 yards, 10, 20, 5. And the return is a fair catch. So a high punt, but not far. And that's going to be a fair catch. So taking over 1st and 10 will be the Oilers at the 39-yard line of the Colts. Good field position, great field position for a prolific offense. It will be a medium pass against a base blitz. So that's a -1 adjustment. So +1 overall. 16 on a medium pass is D10 +10. That's good for 12 yards. And that'll take the ball down to the 27. That's 1st and 10 for the Oilers. As Moon completes to Pinkett out of the backfield for 10 yards. 1st down and 10. This is an inside run to a base. So they have a +3 advantage now. So 14 on the inside run is 2 D6s. This run is Pinkett up the middle. So Pinkett with the carry, Pinkett up the middle. And that's good for 12 yards, 12 more yards. And we have 5 minutes left in the 1st quarter. So 12 yards on the pickup for the 1st down. And this is going to be a medium pass to a base defense. That's a -2. That's really the best hope that Indianapolis has. That's going to make the play even. So no adjustments on the play. A 9 on a medium pass is going to be a quarterback hurry. You can see there. So the defensive line gets to Warren Moon and sets up 2nd down and 10 from the 15. 2nd and 10. This is an outside run to a base blitz. That's a -1 as well. So just a +1 advantage for the offense. 9 becomes a 10. 10 on the outside run is just 1 yard on the play. Takes it to the 14. That'll set up 3rd down and 9. About 4 minutes left in the first quarter. I'll just go through the first quarter and just to test this out and get all the way to the end of the quarter. So 3rd down and 9. This is a medium pass to a base defense. Again, that's going to be the best possible role for Indianapolis to stay in this one. And that will be no advantage either way. So 13 on a medium pass is good for 11 yards. And still going to be tough sledding for Indianapolis. They still have to get the roll, you know, even though that is the best place for them to be. So that's going to bring up 1st down and goal from the 3-yard line. That pass was to Duncan. I mean, Jeffries, Hill, Givens, and Duncan was a pretty solid 1 through 4. I mean, they had the 3 amigos in Washington, but these guys were just, they'd spread you out and throw you all over the place. Plus Pinkett coming out of the backfield. Remember they ran the run and shoot like at a time when that was just starting to throw the ball 4 wide and stuff like that. Shotgun, 4 wide, empty sets. All right. 1st and goal. We have our goal to go play calling sheet over here. And 1st down is a short pass against a goal line. That's a 0, so they retain their +2 advantage overall. 14 becomes a 16 on a short pass is D10 +2. And that's 3 yards, and that's actually going to be right on it. So 3-yard touchdown play as the pass goes to Givens for 3 yards. And that's going to make our score at the moment 13-0. Take the time off there. And the extra point is up and good. So 14-0 is our score here in the first quarter. This one on the road to ugly. And the Oilers kicking off from their own 35. 5 on the kickoff is a touchback. And so taking over 1st and 10 at their own 25 will be Jeff George and the Colts offense. The Colts 1-15 in this season, so not a total surprise that they're getting walloped here in the first quarter. They are going to run an outside run to a base defense, and that's going to be a 0, so they retain their -1 disadvantage, I guess you would call it. So 4 on an outside run, and it goes from bad to worse as Dickerson with a fumble opportunity. He fumbles it. Let's see if they lose it or if they retain possession. It's a 9. A 9 is the line of scrimmage minus D6 times 2. So this is probably going to be a run back. We'll see. A 62. Actually, we'll say 26. So 25 minus 26 is -1. So that is going to be a fumble with a touchdown return. So we'll mark that down. And I'm pretty sure things are going to go from bad to worse in this game for the Colts. The extra point is good, and that is with 2:45 left in the quarter. It's 21-0. Houston over Indianapolis. Like I said, I'm going to play the first quarter. I'm not going to subject you. I wouldn't even subject myself to this game. I would just play it out on the simulator probably. But, you know, you get stats out of it if you just play the game out on the tabletop. So if that's what you're looking for, that's what you're looking for. But this is an 11-5 team at home against a 1-15 team. This is how it should go. They should probably beat them by 40, or if not more. So we got a kickoff here. The kickoff is a 10. That's going to be 57 yards. So 60, 59, 58, 57. And the return is 5. So 22 yards on the return takes it out to the 30. So good starting field position at least for Jeff George and the offense. So Dickerson, costly fumble that turns into a run back for a TD. Brings up first down and 10 for the Indianapolis Colts. It's an inside run to a base blitz. So they have a -1 disadvantage. So 18 becomes 17. D6 plus 5 is good for 10 yards. So a nice first down pickup. And that's going to be Eric Dickerson with the 10-yard gain. You would think that Dickerson's probably their best opportunity for gaining yardage here. First and 10, another inside run to a base blitz. And that's a -2, becomes a -3. The Oilers run a 4-3, so it becomes a -3. I don't even know. Maybe I missed that last one. I don't know. 9 minus 3 is 6. 6 on the inside run is good for 0 yards. And 1.5 minutes left in the quarter. Second down and 10. And inside run to a base. So same thing, -2 on the adjustment here. So 14 minus 2 is 12. That's going to be good for 5 yards. As Clark takes it up the middle for 5. Brings up third down and 5. 1 minute left in the quarter. And let's see if Jeff George can get them doing something here. This is 3rd and 5. An outside run to a base defense is a 0. So -1 adjustment overall. And that's a 2. 2 on an outside run is a tackle for loss for -1 yard. So definitely going to bring up a punting situation for them as they try to take it outside on 3rd and 5 and get dropped for a 1 yard loss from the defense. That was, we'll call that 1, 2, 3. We'll call that Smith with the loss there, the tackle for loss. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 players. And so 1 through 9 is easy. And then you have a 10 or 11. Usually if I roll a 10, I'll just roll again and see which of these free safety, strong safety guys it is. So you can kind of see who's committing penalties and stuff like that if you want to do that. Not everybody wants to go into that kind of detail. I don't really care about that sort of detail, but if you do, all the players are here and you can use them for that and just kind of come up with a roll system that works for you. We have 11 players, but we have 10 spots on the D10. So let that be what it is. And if you roll the D10, then everybody has an equal opportunity. It's a 1 out of 10 chance, except for these two guys. They'll have a little bit different chance if you do it that way. Okie doke. This is using these newer cards. So you can see that the game plays basically the same. It's just that we're using a single outcomes chart instead of individualized. You'll be able to see it. You should be able to see it with these two teams. Let's see where I can find a difference here. So short passes are completed at a 10. Here, a short pass is completed at a 9. So you can see there are more completions on this one than there are here. So on a 9, there's an incomplete pass. On an 11 is where the medium passes start, same here. And you can see your D10 plus 15. And then this one just has 21 yards on the deep pass. So they have more yards per catch, I think, than these guys over here do. It's going to be a little bit more variable. So generally, I try to figure it as the average. So the average roll on a D10 is going to be a 5. So 5 plus 15, the average roll is going to be a 20. And then it could be more, it could be less. And then you have a solid 20, 21. You can see on the topmost roll, it's a D10 plus 33, so that's 38 yards. And then this one is just 30 yards on their deepest passes. So this is Vince Young. This is Peyton Manning. So a lot of difference there. And you might not find a lot of other differences between the two, but obviously the kicking game is, those two are completely different. A lot better kicker over here for Tennessee than over here. This has been a Terry late in his career, but this is, he's really good. Up to 40, he was not good. After 40, he didn't hit any field goals, I don't think, after 40 yards. His longest field goal was 39 that he made. And just a 79% field goal percentage, so 90 over here. So you can see that there are a lot of subtle differences, and that's what I mean. It takes a little bit of time, like extra time, to go through, and I have to do that for every single team. So figure out what their completion percentage, plus or minus. There are usually one or two teams where I don't have to change anything really, just kind of a little bit here and there. If the fumble percentages are way off the mark, I have to adjust those up or down on this scale. Same with interception percentages. You can see here there's an incompletion here. There's a sack here. So more sacks to Tennessee than to Indianapolis, because that's one sack off of the board. So just some different things here. Little subtle differences that I see. -4 yards on the screen. -2 yards on the screen. Things that you would really have to just sit down and take a look at to see what the real differences were between these two teams. And there may be some minor differences in how many yards per play and stuff like that. So generally rushing is all the same, but it's really in the passing game where you're going to see the most differences between those teams. So trying to see if I get to the same place with a single chart that I get with a variable chart. And I don't know how long it would take to figure that out, but I'm willing to try it because it will make creating seasons much easier and faster. So if I can do that, because I can just sort of automate a good chunk of these and then fill in the players and then be good to go. So that would be super easy, and then I would just have to do one chart where I do the figuring based off of the averages for the season. And I've got, like I said, I've got a chart set up that I can, kind of a worksheet that I can go through and figure those things out, and then be able to manipulate that and do that. And then I can go through and just do the averages for kickoffs and punts and things like that, just so that we get some typical averages. There are, this one is, it doesn't have anything like, I have a spearing targeting, but what I don't have is a horse collar, things like that. So this is sort of contextualized to the rules as they were in 1991. And so you can check that out as well. So 1991 will be the next season that comes out. I'm not sure when it'll be finished. It won't be before this weekend when the games start. It's September 4th, 2024 at the time of this recording. So it won't be before that, but it will be as soon as I can get it released. And if I can begin to put things out, put seasons out like this, I think it will speed up the process quite a bit, because then, the play calling charts, the teams, and the penalties, which won't be a lot of change between seasons that are really close to each other. That'll just kind of be, I make little small changes here to reflect a little bit more running or passing or whatever it is for the era. And then, mostly it would just be working on these parts here. So, and then I've already got, I don't know, 6 or 8 teams probably that are already like this. So that's super helpful. If anybody wants to try it out, you want to give it a spin, I'll send you a couple of teams, 4 teams, whatever. You can try it out this way. See if you like it more or less, especially thinking about those who already have the game and you have something to compare it to. So if you're interested in that, send me an email to clarkandaddisongaming@gmail.com and I'll be happy to get that out to you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I know it's a little bit different than just a full gameplay video. More of a sneak peek into what I'm working on here, like a first look at those things. And just kind of trying to see. I played one game offline and it works fine. It works exactly like you would expect it to with the smaller team cards. And the single sheet up here. So I've just got it where that's like on half a page. So you can just put your cards down here and then you got a nice little compact presentation. And then your field, however you want to keep your field. And then I've got my stats and stuff over here that I'm keeping. So everything feels good to me in terms of the way that it's working. But just want to make sure that the end result is what I expect. I mean, at this point, it's 21-0. That's what I would expect to happen between the Colts and the Oilers from 1991. The game before was a little bit higher scoring than most of the games were, like 24-17-ish, you know, between the Steelers and the Browns. But like I said, there were a couple of freakish plays, a couple of late turnover on down type situations where Pittsburgh just had to throw it and they weren't getting a first down. So I kind of chalked that up. I'd have to play 3 or 4 more games to see, is that just non-competitive because we have a single chart? Would it be different if the chart was different? And that sort of thing. Or did I just not play them very well? You know, did I not play the teams very well? Or were they not a good matchup? You know, this is not a great matchup for Houston if they try to throw the ball down the middle of the field. Medium, because the Colts run a 3-4, and that's really into the teeth of the 3-4 defense. So their +2 advantage helps them for sure to still be able to move the ball. But if they had a team with a lesser offense, it would be a little bit more difficult to move the ball against Indianapolis. They have a -1 on their defense, so the defense is not bad at all. Trying to look. I don't recognize too many of the guys on the defense. No names really stepped out to me, but played pretty good defense, better than league average. So I think I'll leave it at that. I appreciate you watching, and I appreciate your support. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, click on subscribe. I play baseball, football, and basketball here because those are the games that I make. And so if you want to check out all the games that we have multiple games in each of those sports. If you go to clarkandaddisongaming.com, you can check out everything that we have. On-base baseball, I have the 1980 season set. That's pretty new. Precision baseball, very exciting new game, very detailed baseball game, and tries to describe baseball in a very precise way. Not necessarily, I think precision will lead to better stats, but stats are not necessarily the impetus. It's just trying to describe each of the situations the most precisely that we can describe each of them. So you can check that out. I've got a lot of videos here on all the games, including up-tempo basketball that you can get, which is kind of a medium play basketball game. And this game here, we got 3 seasons. 1985, 2007, and 2023. Those are all available for Play Action Football. There's also a free demo of 4 teams from the 2023 season that you can try and put those into play, get a feel for the game and how the game plays. And those are, like I said, those are going to be used using these larger sheets here that have just a different type of setup. It's all the same information. Just a different type of layout and setup. So let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think about this new card layout. It's a little bit more a little tighter layout and compressed a little bit more. And then putting these on 2 different sheets. So this is all the same information, it's just a little less tight and compact. This is the old one. So you can see the text is a little bit bigger, and I was able to split out the penalties as well. So here I just have the general penalties, which, you know, it's basically this this section here. So if you just wanted to use these, that's going to be the same thing basically that you have here. I do have some specific ones for passing, so roughing the quarterback, pass interference, spearing, targeting is not another pass interference. So there's a couple of pass interferences on here, and a face mask, which doesn't show up on the passing side. But and over here a couple of rushing offensive roles, so helping the runner, and a chop block, a crackback block. But the others can be used for passing or rushing. So that was sort of the idea there. So you can see those two things have changed just a little bit, putting them front and back and making the text a little bit bigger to see. Okay, all right, I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.